everybody, Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. Today I'm working on one of the inside pages in my little mini album, and I've been adding some decoration to the front cover. Those are just some fake amber plastic beads that I've had for a very long time. I've just threaded onto some linen thread. And if I open up inside, this is the page that I've been working on today. So this is quite a quick one, and stay with me, I'll show you how I made it. So here are the supplies that I'm using for my page today. Page base is a piece of Tranquil Tide, and I've cut that to 6.5 inches by 4.5. It's going to be my base. And then to cover that, I have a piece of Night of Navy, and that is 7.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to mat that with a piece of the Tranquil Textures DSP, and that is 4.25 by 5.25. And I'm also going to use this die out of the Coffee Cups framelets. I'm going to score the piece of Night of Navy at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And the way I like to do that is to score once at 1/2 inch, and then rotate the card and do it again. And then rotate the card again. And one last time until I've got a 1/2 inch score on every side. And I'm also going to mark the halfway point on my piece of card, and that's going to help me later on to line up my template. So do the top, and I'm also going to mark on the bottom edge. And there you go. And I'm just going to put a little bit of my liquid adhesive onto the back of my DSP, and I'm just going to centre that onto my Night of Navy card and set that aside so that it has time for the glue to dry. I'm going to die cut out the slots for the cards to fit into, and to line them up evenly I have made myself a little template. So what I did was I had a bit of scrap card and I just measured it in all directions, and then I die cut out the slots where I thought I wanted them, and it took me a few attempts till I had them exactly even, so do persevere with it, but that I hope will save me from ruining my good card. So I'm just lining it up with those marks I made at the halfway point when I was doing my scoring and folding, and sticking it down with a little bit of low tack tape. Now my die is going to fit into those slots that I've pre-cut, so I'm going to start with the one at the bottom, and just going to hold that in place with a bit of low tack tape. And then once I've got that one done, I'll move up to the next one, and then the next one, until I've got all 3 slots cut out. So I'm going to hold that down and over to the big shot. And this is the result, and I think it did move a little bit when it was in the machine, but it's not too bad, so I'm going to live with that. And now I'm just going to snip away the corners, and as you can see, I've already put my tear and tape on the back, Night of Navy. What am I talking about? Okay, so just get rid of all of those corners so that when I fold the card over, it will fold nice and smoothly. So I've got my tear and tape in place ready to put my layers of card together, but because I want there to be little pockets for my mini cards to fit into, I'm just going to put just a line of my liquid adhesive just above those slots, and I actually should have put a line about 1 inch up from the bottom as well, which I forgot to do, but you'll remember to do that, won't you? So now all I'm doing is lining up my layers so that they fit nicely together, and I'm going to take the backing off the tear and tape on the 2 short sides, but I'm going to leave it on one of the long sides because that is going to fit into my album. So to mount it into the album, I'm applying a generous amount of my liquid adhesive, and I'm trying to work quickly because it's very hot when I'm filming this. So the glue is drying super quick, and I'm just going to take the backing off of the tear-in tape. And now I'm just going to line that up with the page before it. And I'm going to take a little bit of time to make sure everything lines up properly, and I'm just going to fold over that flap so that it sits inside the cut edge of the envelope. And just give that a good press down, and that's the page finished. Cut some crumb cake folders to hold the little pictures and a little bit of journaling, and they are 3.5 by 5. Scored and folded them at the 2.5 inch mark, and I rounded off the corners because I thought that that would look rather nice. So I've done some stamping on the edges of them, and I'm using this stamp from the Magical Mermaid set. I've got crumb cake ink, and as you can see, I've already mounted up my stamp, so I'm inking it up with lots of light tapping, and I'm just going to line it up onto my card and press down. And lift that up, and I'm happy with that impression. So I've already done 2 other little folders, and now they're ready to go into my scrapbook. And inside I've popped some pictures, and I've got space for journaling. I finished off the page with some stamped and coloured and fussy cut out seashells. They're from a retired set, and I can't remember offhand what it was. So as you can see, my little crumb cake cards fit nicely inside the slots, and that it is. There it is, my page is finished. So that has completed the latest page in my mini album project, and as you can see, I've still got quite a few more pages to fill in. So do come back and see me again sometime if you've enjoyed this project. But for now, that is it for today. I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. Would love it if you came back and saw me again sometime soon. But for now, bye bye.